Quickly on the game, how did you see the game?
I think I saw an improvement upon what we saw in the last game against Mali and what we played against Central African Republic. Individually, we saw some players come into the setup and they played so well, especially looking at Abdul Momen. I was really impressed. I don't care about whatever anybody is going to say about the kind of mistake that happened during the last minutes of the game, and then we conceded. He had a very good game, and the pitch is not helping us at all. I don't know how many times you are supposed to say this, but it is really poor. And I don't blame the guys so much for losing the ball at some key moment where it was very important for us to keep it. And I think even the last 10 minutes, we kept possession so well. We kept on putting the pressure on Angola. We missed some few chances. The cutting edge was not there. It's just the learning stage. Otuado has just come in, picked up the team, trying to work around the team, making sure that the team gets better and better from match to match, which I believe we are going to get there. It's all about being patient as Ghanaians, building a solid team. These guys are young. Then I believe we are going to get the results we need.
Thank you.
Disappointing, not a good game. If you look at the last 2 games that we've played here, in fact, the whole of 2024, the games that we've played, we've conceded. We keep on conceding in every game that we play. So when the game was going to almost the 9 numbers of the game, we were expecting at least we can go away with a goalless draw and say that, for the very first time under Otuado, we have not conceded. But then that did not happen. You could tell that the team they were not gelled together, especially in attack. We didn't look like there was anything at stake for us, especially for Antoine Semenyo. In the 9 numbers of the game again, there were times where we had to control the game, but we looked like Adesika. We looked as if there was nothing at stake. We looked as if, we were not really moved to try and get a winner. Because for all I know, in the 80th minute, 85th minute, when you are 0-0 down in your first home game in AFCON qualifier, you want to pick up the 3 points and then start the qualification on a smooth slate. But then in the 85th minute, we looked too like Adesika, were just passing here and there, were too calm. And then the Angolans really showed that they wanted it more from against us. And like I said, I think that almost everything that we did today was not a good one from us.
The coaches keep on complaining about the pitch. You've seen it. How do you think about the pitch?
Horrible. Very, very horrible. I mean, I saw it on TV before I got here. I wanted to see it for myself. It was horrible. And I saw somebody tweet on Twitter and say that we can't treat the pitch like how we treat it all year and expect to use 2 weeks to turn it around. We have been dishonest with ourselves. The issues of the NSA is not about just one person. It's not about names. It's about the proper management of our various pitches. And today, we've been shot in the foot by ourselves. We've shown that we are not good enough in handling our facilities. And Pedro Gonzalez was clear that a country like Ghana deserves a better pitch. It is horrible. And that's even being nice to the NSA and then the government of Ghana. The Ministry of Sport, the NSA, they need to look at themselves in the mirror and then bow their heads in shame. Horrible.
Let's look at our defensive, the centre back especially. We've seen Salisu with Jiku, and then we've seen Amate with Salisu. Today, we saw Salisu with Momen. How did you see their combination?
I think that on the ball, it was a very, very good setup. Both of them are very good on the ball. We had 2 different skill sets. One of them that is very good in reading the ball, being aggressive and stepping up into danger. The other one being the sweeper, that is Abdul Momen. I don't think that we had an issue. I think that coming into this game, one of the biggest problems that I felt that we would have was our rest defense and how we could defend counter attacks or the turnovers. We did that fairly okay, maybe because the Angolans didn't really attack us incessantly. But the very time where we had to clear our lines and defend, lack of communication, the inability to read the game very well, and the fact that we didn't have the natural box defender in Alexander Jiku did cost us the game. So, I mean, we would have hoped to have Jiku's experience and leadership at the back, but you can't really fault Momin and Salisu. So I think the whole team wasn't good enough today.
Partey with Elisha in the midfield. How did you see their combination too?
Again, another wrong decision from Otuado, and I've been one of the people that have been very kind to Otuado. Since his first stint with us, I've consistently said that Otuado is one of our best choices in terms of coaches. On the field, communication-wise, everything, I think Otuado is up there. But in this game, his selection in the middle of the park was too careful. I don't know if it was his backroom staff that asked him to go with Elisha. Yesterday, he did mention that Elisha was injured and he could only play with an injection, maybe diclofenac injection before he could play. Elisha was on the field of play. I think he added nothing to our team. If we had gone into this game with Forcing Amankwa or even what's his name, or even Ashimeru to have started, it would have been better. I would have had more progression on the ball. We had Thomas Tepate who could pass to break the lines, but we didn't have anybody who could carry the ball to break the lines from deep, and that's what Ashimeru gives you. When he came in the second half, we could see he would carry the ball to try and break the lines and make something happen. I think that midfield combination was shambolic.
Well, I think for strange reasons, I believe strongly that this is a game we shouldn't have lost. Judging by the performance in the first half, we upped it in the second half, and against the run of play, we failed to clear an offensive action by Angola, and unfortunately we had to concede. But I think we didn't deserve to lose this encounter. But as I asked Otuado in there are a lot of lessons to learn from losing. And that is, you will be able to note some one or two things that didn't go right for us in the game, correct them, and then improve them going forward. Hopefully, I am much more eager to see how he's able to get these boys together and prepare them for the game against Niger, because there's a young team that is putting together. They are young in terms of the number of times they've played, not respectively as regards their age. I am speaking in terms of the number of times they've played together, how this group of players have come together and have come to understand some of these situations. They haven't lost that much under Otuado in a second spell. So how will they be able to overcome it? How are they going to quickly brush off this defeat to Angola and then fully focus on that game against Niger in the next game that we play in the qualifiers? And I say this because, just as you emphasized, or just as you highlighted, the Black Stars hadn't lost here since February 2000. For Otuado, he was a player in that game against South Africa. Today, he's the coach. It's much more of a double blow. So he suffers a psychological blow in this. The players know the kind of record that they've lost to the Angolans, a 24-year record. So basically, they'll be down. They are humans just like us. So how are they going to overcome it? That will be crucial. If the coach quickly makes them forget about it, trust me, we have the quality to go all the way to Morocco with a better pitch, and then we'll be able to get a result against Niger.
What do you think went wrong?
I think mostly, personally, from my opinion, I'm no technical masterpiece or I'm no tactical expert. But from what I saw, I think that we're a bit limited in terms of our width, offensive play. If you look at the players that he played on the wings, Abdul Fattah Ishaku is a left-footed player playing as a right winger. Mostly he will invert. Now when he does that, it is much more of an underlapping, so you need a fullback to overlap, then create an outlet where crosses can be floated in. It was a similar case too for the left side. There was Seydou Alidou as the left back, who is naturally a right-footed player. Then there was Antoine Semenyo, also playing as a left winger, who is naturally a right-footed player. So it kind of stifled us in terms of how we created exteriors or external options to create crosses from the various width. And I think it actually impacted us. It limited us to concentrate more about the central zones. So Semenyo was driving through the central zones. You had Abdul Fattah Ishaku also driving through the central zones. Then Jordan Ayew Kudus also pushing through the central zones. That makes you quite predictable. For any opponent, they know exactly what you are going to do. If you are attacking from the left, they know that you are going to invert, and they can map up a strategy to nullify you. So I think it mostly played out throughout the game, and I think maybe the coach delayed in some of the changes he made. For instance, someone like Joseph Pinto, he's clearly someone you need to come in with his speed and then also his ability to play as a typical right winger. So these are some of the things that did not go right for us, and I think it should be corrected. Maybe for the defense too. They were a bit caught sleeping during that moment where they did not clear the ball to get a goal. But it's unfortunate. I'm speaking all this because we lost. Maybe if we had won, I wouldn't be highlighting them. So as I said, there is a lot more to learn from losing than winning.
Lastly, on the pitch, both coaches complain about the pitch. Yeah. What do you think about the pitch?
It is absolutely horrible. And in today's world, we should not be playing on this kind of pitch. This is an international stage. For a Division 1 league game, I'm cool with this. But there's the category 1, the elite category. And you have countries like Mali, Senegal, countries that we boast of better natural resources than they have, upgrading their level of sports infrastructure. We are still here and we are caught in between time, always thinking about what we're going to do to make sure the pitch is ready for a game. come on, I think authorities need to set up, we need to grow up, we need to upgrade our level of understanding of the game. Without that, trust me, we are actually not going to enjoy much development in our game. Immediately the players landed from their respective clubs, the question was about the pitch. Today, the question has been about the pitch. Tomorrow, we'll still be discussing the pitch because after all, we never learn.